Good afternoon. It's been a while. Give me a few minutes to share this and I will get started on why you should not seek advice for your life or your relationship. Today I'm talking about why you shouldn't seek advice for your life or your relationship, because most of the time when you seek advice, you don't really find solutions and you keep going around in circles. Advice is great when you already have a confirmation of what you're looking for in your life. Advice is great when you already have a sense of direction about where you're going. Advice is great when you already know your purpose for your life. But advice, thanks so much for joining. Share this, invite someone who you know can need it. Advice can actually be detrimental to your life, your relationship, your health, and your mental state of being. I'm going to share with you 5 reasons why you shouldn't be seeking advice when it comes to your life or your relationship. Number 1, advice is always based on comparison. Let me say that again. Advice is always based on comparison. And that's because the people you seek advice from are those that you compare your life with. Those you already compare your life with. Those you think that are better than you. Those who you think that know where you need to be, but they are not there because you don't really know what's going on in their own life at the moment. You may be looking at them from a distance, but you don't really know what you're going through. Especially when it comes to relationship, you're looking up to a couple that you may see on the external what's going on in the relationship, but you don't know what they're going through on the inside. And so you begin to seek advice from them because you're comparing your relationship with their relationship, but every relationship is unique. And when you start to compare your relationship with that of someone else, you're already bringing chaos into your own relationship, into your own life, to even alter your own state of being, because advice, like I said, can be detrimental to your health and your emotions. So when the advice doesn't work, you find yourself repeating patterns because you're trying to compare yourself with someone else. You're trying to compare your life and your relationship with somebody else's life or relationship. So advice is not great when it comes to comparison. The second reason is that you're trying to soothe. Advice soothes your pain or ego at the moment. Advice soothes your pain or ego in that moment. The moment when you're seeking for advice, what happens is that you're only trying to find comfort. You're only trying to find comfort in that moment when you're going through the pain, when you're going through the motions, when your ego is awakened, when you're looking for somebody to validate what you believe is supposed to be right. That's when you seek for advice. But that may not be what you need in the moment. What you need is to hear the truth that will set you free, and the truth that will help you connect with solutions that will bring about results in your own life. So number 2, advice isn't good because it soothes your pain and it awakens your ego and actually massages your ego in the moment. Number 3 is that advice creates unrealistic expectations. And when you have unrealistic expectations that are never met, you will find yourself being disappointed, not only with who gave you advice, but also with yourself or with whoever you're in a relationship with or whatever is going on in your life. You're going to be frustrated because, again, you had expectations based on the advice that was given to you, but the advice wasn't useful at the end of the day, because it may have given you the temporary solution, but it did not give you the results that you wanted. So you don't want to focus on advice. Number 4, advice is always based on somebody's opinion of where that person is with themselves. When you seek for advice is based on someone's opinion, which in return is based on where that person is with themselves. So when you're seeking for advice, that person you're seeking advice from actually is advising you from where they are. It's not necessarily where you need to be in your own life. So you're listening to the advice, you're taking it, and they may be in a place of pain, and they're advising you from a place of pain or hurt, and you're connecting to it, and it massages your ego in that moment, and you think, oh, I found a solution. But at the end of the day, it only results in conflicts, because when the advice they gave to you does not work, you start to loathe and become bitter about what the other person told you, and it may actually destroy your relationship with them. So you don't want to seek advice. You don't want to seek advice from someone who you don't even know where they are with themselves. You may see them frequently, but again, they may be advising you from where they are, not where you need to be. So what do you do in a case where you need to find answers instead of seeking advice? Number one, you have to have a conversation with your partner. You have to have a conversation with your partner. Have a conversation with your partner. If the conversation you're having, and when you're having that conversation, don't have a conversation where you're busy arguing. Because when you hold conversations, you're trying to resolve a problem. You don't have to answer back in a tone that escalates the issue. But it's about you both sitting down and having a discussion. An intelligent discussion where you're resolving problems. When you're having the conversation and you see that you do not have a solution, then you need to get professional support. Get professional support. Either you get a coach, a counselor, or a therapist. The therapist is always the last person I always recommend, because, again, they may require you to medicate, but you may not necessarily need the medications. You may just need somebody to help you uncover what is underneath, and that's why I always say go to a coach. It doesn't have to be me coaching. It can be any coach that you find that can really help you. Again, remember, when you get advice, you only loop circles, you repeat patterns. It suits the temporary solution, but it doesn't give you a permanent solution to what you need in your life. And it may help you put up a facade in a place where you're living a lie to yourself. You're not being true to yourself. You're not getting better from where you are, but you find yourself going back in circles, and you're only hurting yourself more than helping yourself heal. It's part of emotional and mental abuse that you inflict on yourself. That's why you need to get professional support. Number 3 is to evaluate your relationship with your partner. Evaluate your relationship frequently with your partner. Why do you need to evaluate your relationship frequently? You need to know if you're both growing, if you're both stagnant, if there's any unresolved issues that may bring about conflicts. You don't want to have a conflict in your relationship. You want to have, you want to be growing together. You want to have that peaceful environment. You want to have the purposeful relationship where you're both true to yourself and you're living a healthy lifestyle. So you have to constantly evaluate your relationship. You also have to constantly evaluate your own life. Ask yourself, am I where I need to be with myself? If I'm not there, what are the things that I need to do to get there? How can I invest in myself to become better? How can I find solutions that help me move forward? That means surrounding myself with people that advise me and keep me in the same space where they're comfortable, but I don't feel comfortable. I know there's something within me that wants to grow. I know there's something within me that wants to become better. I know there's something within me that's bigger than where I am, and I need to get there. That's when you need to get support. And the last thing is to create solutions. Create solutions for your life and your relationship. Create solutions for your life and your relationship, because when you have solutions, you're able to set goals. When you set goals and you accomplish your goals, you set goals, you set timelines, you accomplish your goals, you get results. You're able to look back and say, this is what I did when I was going through this, and I was able to resolve it based on the solution I had. If you don't have a solution, you find yourself, again, repeating cycles, hurting yourself more than helping yourself become better, looking at yourself not growing, wondering why everybody around you is shifting and you're not shifting, but you have to decide. You have your life to live and nobody else. So again, don't seek for advice. Get solutions, create solutions, get professional support. Coaches help you. As a coach, what I help you to do is find your own answers. I don't give you answers. I help you find answers. Michael says, give me 1 second. Let me read what Michael said. Michael said, hi, Kemi. Not all advices are bad. My take on this is that you have your own mind. Think for yourself regarding the issue and your peculiar circumstance as it relates to the issue you're seeking advice about. Ask one or two trusted people only, then analyze what you've gotten. Michael, you're right, but here is the thing. When you're going through a difficult time, it's very difficult for you to find solutions when you're seeking for advice, because you're looking for quick fixes that can help you get out of your state of mind in that being. You may not be emotionally balanced. You may have altered your state of mind. And so when you're seeking advice, you're looking for quick solutions. And quick solutions do not resolve issues. They only provide temporary ones. And after that, the problem continues. Trusted people or not, people that you know and you say you trust may not have your best interest at heart. You have to still make the choice. But if you're not finding solutions at the point where you're getting stuck and you're not moving forward, what happens? Nothing happens. There will be no shift. There will be no progress. You find yourself just living in a funk, and you don't want to live in a funk. You want to move to where you're growing. Most people, I'm going to be very down to earth and transparent because that's who I am. Most people want to come to a coach to get advice. Last week I told someone I don't give advice, I give solutions, because my goal is to help you move from where you are to where you need to be. What you find when you're getting advice is you're constantly in the presence of who's giving you advice because you're looking for them to solve your problems. You're not able to solve your own problems. But what coaches do is not keep you permanently in their lives. They help you build. You take the solutions that you created yourself based on the help of a coach mentoring and guiding and supporting you. And you remember, when you're going through another difficult time in your life, this is the solution I got when I got the help of a coach and I found my own answers. It's about you making your choices. But when you're in a place where you're hurt, you can't make rational decisions. You make irrational decisions, you seek for advice, and at that point, the advice you're getting may not be what you really need. They don't bring answers. And you have to make the move, you have to make the shift and tell yourself, at that point, am I really hanging with people that are soothing my ego and soothing my pain, or am I really getting help that I need to get to move out of my own way and become better? Remember, your life is yours to live. People can give you advice, but they're not responsible for you. They can only give you advice that may hurt you, but you have to make the decision that's best for you. You have to create solutions that help you move forward. I used to seek for advice prior to me finding myself. It was very easy for me to go to this person for advice and go to that person for advice, but I wasn't getting solutions until I got 3 coaches in my own life. And I had to realize it wasn't about what I was paying the coach. It was what I was investing in myself to learn more about myself. It was how I found myself. It was how I healed. It was how I became who I am today. Without that journey of learning about me creating solutions for myself, I've still been stuck. I was stuck for 15 years and more than that, because I was repeating cycles based on advice. What you do when you get advice is you just find yourself going around in circles and hanging with people that make you comfortable than people that make you grow. Ask yourself the question, who are you surrounded with? Who's in that circle that gives you advice? Are they moving forward in their own life, or are you all in the same place? Because if nobody's shifting, then there's nothing going to happen. You're not all going to grow. There's a saying that says 20 children cannot play for 20 years because 20 children will end up growing and moving away from, that place where they all grew up to play with. Some will become married, some will relocate, some will, people grow. And you have to ask yourself, if you're not growing and becoming mature, what's stopping you? How can you get better? How can you make the shift? How can you realign your mindset? And how can you free yourself from what's breaking you? The truth is, when you seek for advice, you create limited beliefs. And limited beliefs don't help you move forward. They only keep you stagnant. They don't make you grow. They only create a room for fear and to awaken ego and emotional roller coaster in your own life. And based on the limited belief, you will keep consoling yourself without finding solutions. That's just the bitter truth about life. I'm a realist, and I believe in being real, keeping it real, and helping people get better, helping people move from that bitter place to a better place in life. That state of facade to a place where you're living purposefully and truthfully to yourself. You look back at yourself and say, I don't have anything underneath the rug because I'm addressing every issue. I'm finding solutions to every issue, and I'm moving forward in my own life, growing. If you become stagnant, you have to ask yourself, why am I not growing? Even the tree grows every day. It may look the same to you, but it does bring out branches. And those branches bring out leaves. And some of the time, it brings out fruits or flowers. So you have to ask yourself, am I really growing? Remember, it's not how fast you grow. It's how well you live. To have the healthy life, to have the healthy relationship. People want to go on a fast pace, but fast pace is always going to take you 360 direction. It is how well you live. And how well is determined by how much solutions you create and how much investment you make in yourself for your mental state of mind, for your emotional state of mind, for your own spiritual growth. You don't want to remain stagnant. You don't want to keep... Look at yourself in 2016 and look at yourself now. How has things changed? Do you find yourself repeating the same things from 2016 to today? What has changed for you? If nothing has changed, then there's work to be done. I'm not perfect. I still work on myself every day. I actually just finished a training, and I'm ready to go into another one to train other people, IT training for other people. And so I really want you to really connect to this. It's about daily growth. Every day, God gives you that opportunity to find something that needs to grow within you. Don't think about the negative criticism. Look at the negative criticisms. Look at the negative talks that happen around you. Pull out the positives from them. Everything in life, like I've said in my quote, teaches us about ourselves, teaches us about our growth. But when we're not in the right state of mind, we can't connect to that truth. We can't connect to the growth. And if you find yourself seeking advice, you're just going to be in somebody's presence seeking for validation and authentication, but God has already done that for you when He created you as good enough. You have to create solutions. You have to evaluate your life. You have to determine when to move, when to shift, when to get support. No one can push you to do it, but it starts with you. Everything starts and ends with you. And at the end of life, you have to ask yourself, did I live or did I just exist? Existing doesn't serve you in any way. It only makes you stagnant. The things that God has already dimmed for you, you can't connect to. There will be no breakthrough. This is a quote from my memoir that's coming out next year. There will be no breakthrough until you get rid of all your limited beliefs. Let me say that again. There will be no breakthrough until you've eliminated your limited beliefs. Because what limited beliefs do is, what they do to you is they hold you captive. They don't even make you leave. They just make you believe in the lies that you tell yourself. You believe in the things that you tell yourself, the things that you want to use to massage your fear and your ego, but they don't make you grow. And you have to ask yourself, what's stopping me? I had to ask myself the question when I got out of my own way 6 years ago. No one stopped me. I was stopping myself. I had to look at myself. Is this where I want to be? I had a conversation with a girlfriend of mine who's spending some time with me for the next 2 weeks. And we were having a conversation this morning. I looked back at where I used to be when we were in college together. And I laugh at myself at saying, you know what? Why did I even hold myself back? Every day God was putting that opportunity before me Opportunity for me to get out of my own way and stop seeking advice and create solutions for myself, set goals for my life, and live the best life. But I was busy seeking advice from people that weren't even heading where I was going. I was seeking advice from people that were also in pain. And the people that were in pain weren't even helping me get better. They were only helping me stay where they were because, again, that was their comfort zone, and they needed to hold people to be in that same zone with them so that they can all feel good. And it's not about feeling good. It's about being good to yourself. That's one thing I want you to realize. It's about being good to yourself. When you stop seeking advice and you start creating solutions, it's about being good to yourself. It's about realizing that you are enough. It's about realizing that you have everything. All your needs have been met by God when He created you and said, good, go on, go live the life that I deemed for you. But when you seek advice, you can't connect to it. When you're seeking advice from a place of high emotions or fear, you can't connect to it. Some advice will help you, but they don't last. Advice is only for temporary solutions, not permanent results. But if you want results, if you want to grow, if you want to make that shift, you have to be so determined to get out of your own way and get the help that you need. Again, if you're interested in getting support, feel free to email me, coaching@kemishogunle.com, or inbox me on Facebook, and I'll be more than happy to support you to help you get started on your journey to becoming a better you, not remaining a bitter you, not hanging with the Joneses, not keeping up to anyone, but living the best life that God deemed for you as you begin to be true to yourself and be real with yourself and quit existing and start living. I hope you all have an amazing afternoon, evening, morning, wherever you are in the world, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care. God bless. Bye-bye.